Yes! Welcome to the stream. Big ups, blinking out. Only just realised I didn't have the music on for the whole of that. My apologies. But yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. Big ups to you all. How are we doing? How are we feeling ahead of a big game versus Wolves? Am I the only one that feels like the camera's lower than it usually is? I feel like it might be. Well, that's definitely too high, isn't it? Yeah, this has definitely been adjusted. You weren't able to see that door before. Oh, blinking out. We had it perfect before. We had it absolutely perfect. Does it need to be closer? Oh, blinking out. Oh, mayhaps we'll just have to deal with it for this one, Blues. Blinking out. That's so cold. So at least get me a bit more central. Alright, there we go. That'll do. But yes, Blues. Welcome back to another stream. That's even not too far. There we go. Yes, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. Today we are obviously talking about Wolves. Big game for us. My chair's been adjusted as well. Someone's been sat in here, Blues. Big game for us against Wolves tomorrow. Obviously, it's the Kickstarter for the Premier League. And today we're doing a predicted 11 for it, of course. You know, it's been so long since we did one of those for the Premier League. I'm trying to remember what game it would have been. What was our final match of the season? My apologies for not really remembering. I try to forget about that season. I feel like Bournemouth were in and around there. Can't put my finger on it. Oh well. Yo, brother, nice to meet you against this Gaming Feast. Welcome back. Big ups to you. Hope you're doing good, Gaming Feast. And big ups to This is Sissy as well, who left some comments. Finally, Edison and Savino won't be in the squad tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to get onto that. I'm definitely going to get onto that. That's very, very interesting news. Now then, let's actually go to Twitter first because, well, that's where all the news resides. Okay. Here we go. So, we're mainly going to have a look at news that affects tomorrow's game. But Phil Foden... this guy's wondering why Phil Foden's not 10. Blinking heck. But Shirky is Man City's new 10. That didn't take long. Big ups to him. Blinking heck. Big news regarding Rico Lewis now as well. Let's keep going. Here we are. So this came out 2 hours ago. Savino and Edison are ruled out for Wolves vs Man City. Pep Guardiola has confirmed. Savino injured. Sorry, I don't remember. He's injured from Palermo. A few weeks he will be out. And Edison apparently, yeah. So look, for me, that I don't think he's proper injured. And maybe he's got a knock, but I've got a feeling he's not actually injured. And I've got a feeling that just whilst there's noise going around, he's probably leaving them out of the team just until the noise passes by, whether he's leaving, whether he's staying. I think Haaland will score for the first tomorrow, like he always says. Yeah, hopefully. I'm up for Haaland scoring. Is this giving us a hint that they're leaving? For me, yeah, I think so. But I'm also a guy that kind of wants these moves a little bit. I think Edison's leaving. Savino, not sure about him. Savino is the one I'm not 100% sure on as well, to be honest. Not because I think he's too good and whatnot. But I don't know. Savino, he's been here one season. It just feels like it's happening a bit soon. You know, I don't feel like City would do it. But But yeah, this is what Pep has to say on the matter of Savinho and Spurs. The only thing I'm concerned about today is Savinho will be with us until all the season and hopefully for many years. He's extraordinary, but at the end, as always, the desire of the player prevails above everything. After there's been an agreement with the club, if you don't take an agreement, the player will be here. So yeah, look, for me, it's giving that feeling that they could both very well be on the way out, as it stands. I don't know where Savinho stands on it. Is he unhappy at the club? Has it not been the role he's hoped for? Has he not had as much freedom as he maybe thought he would at one point? That's the one thing for me I'm unsure on when it comes to Savinho. Like, why would he want to leave so early? Maybe he's worried that the club's going down and Spurs are going up. Maybe that's something he's worried about. But again, I don't know why Savinho would want to leave so early, is the thing. I think Savinho will leave and Edison will stay as Hazard. But again, we got differences. Nope, Eddie is travelling. Could have sworn Pep confirmed he's not. Edison will not be a part of the squad for this weekend. Edison didn't come to me and say, I want to leave or I have an offer. All the players are here and I work with them. That's what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Stuttgart. This is just transfer news now. We can save this for another day. But that's kind of the latest where Savinho and Edison are concerned and whether we think they should go or whether they shouldn't. But again, apologies for that loud noise. Must be some big vehicle driving past. If they want to leave, they'll come to me. I'm working with them because I'm here. If they want to leave, they'll knock on my door. Yeah, but he's spoken on their futures, which is good. I think they've been left out because of the noise. No chance of happening. So Edison's more likely to leave than Savinho. For me, it would make more sense that Edison is more. I think Edison's more likely to leave. I am on that boat, but I won't write it off. I go on about how it feels all too soon. Fran Torres left after a season and a half. To be fair, it was dream club kind of move. Barcelona. He's Spanish. He would want that move if it came looking for him. So to be fair, I don't blame him. Savinho is not quite the same because I doubt Tottenham's his dream club. Tottenham aren't exactly serial winners. He's not English, so he's unlikely to have any ties related there. Maybe he does have ties, and I just don't know about them. But for me, I don't feel like it's a connection in that sense, to be honest. I hope Edison leaves his legend, but he has to go to Galatasaray. You can have him. Yeah, to be fair. Man City keep projecting Spurs bid for Savinho. That's what we're hearing. That's not proper. It's not like a proper solid source is my issue. I've heard the exact report you're on about, but we haven't had that proper. Is my only thing. Yeah, so Edison's definitely not injured. Okay, he trained. Here he is, training. So it's not an injury that's keeping Edison out. Apparently agents are being spoken to here. Sevilla Nepan's going to Middlesbrough, by the way. Yeah, but that's kind of where their futures are concerned. But let's flick on back over to here now. I'm just going to edit the colours very quickly of our players. Let me know who you want to see in the starting 11. Now then, keep in mind the players that aren't available. I think Rodri's unavailable, Foden, and of course Edison and Savinho. So, make sure to keep that in mind when you are doing your prediction. I'll read the chat in a moment, just after I get the lineup done. There we go. They simply want more. Edison won't be in the squad tomorrow, right? Not according to Pep, unless we believe Pep is a liar. But I mean, yeah, when it comes to the bid for Savinho that's been rejected, yeah, of course we want more. We want more than 50, which isn't a shock. But I don't think they'll start. Apparently, Phil Foden and Rodri won't be in the squad. Oh, is that the case? Is that the case? Oh, I must have gone at it wrong there. By the way, McAtee's confirmed leaving. FYI. Anyway, let's start with Trafford, because Trafford is of course going to be the starter. I'd be shocked if Ortega's selected over him, so we'll definitely go Trafford to begin. Right back, we're going to go Núñez. I don't think Pep would start Rico with the uncertainty of his future. I think we're going to see Diaz and Akanji for the centre-back pairing, to be honest. We'll quickly swap those two over. And I think at left back, we're going to see Aitnari. That's my back five. Let me know what you're thinking. One centre bid got rejected. Assuming that report is true, then yeah, that bid did get rejected. Yeah, I don't think Phil or Rodri start either. We'll get Haaland out of the way because he's a pretty straightforward one. Now it's this core five. I want Rangers here, I ain't gonna lie. Let's change his shirt number to 4. And yours to 21. There we go. On Rangers there. Now it's about who you're playing with them. Personally, I think Bernardo will start. I think Bernardo's going to play. I think Shirky will play. Who are we going for right wing? No Savinho. No Foden either. Might have to go Bernardo. Unless you go Marmouche. Marmouche there. And Doku here. Unless you want to go for that. Doku can play on the right. So you could go for that. If you want. It's not an awful 11. It's a very strong one. And it saves Rodri, it saves Phil. It hasn't included Edison or Savinho. I'm just trying to think of positions that I might be missing out on. I have left Vardiel out intentionally, by the way, because I know he was injured not super long ago. So I don't know if he's going to feature today or tomorrow. But yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not too sure on how Wolves are as a club right now. We'll get a quick look at them. They don't think they've won any of their preseason games, so we'll just go for their latest. Oh, wasn't allowed to see the lineup of that one. Okay, not that one either. Alright then, never mind. We'll go on FootMob for that. FootMob. What's his name? Or their name? Wolves. Lens lineup. So, assuming that this is their strongest lineup, okay, it's not the strongest lineup as opposed to the Premier League. Yeah, welcome back from holiday. Hope your holiday was mint. Big ups to you for tuning in. Yeah, I mean, as far as starting 11s go, it's not the strongest ever. Sadly, I haven't got stats for this game, or not much at the very least. I don't know how long some of these guys have been at the club. Strand Larsen, I believe, is a newer player, I think. No, not if he was in the 24-25 season. Again, it's not awful. But it's just not great. I don't see a threat like Cunha, who's been replaced. I don't see anyone like Cunha. Wolves are going down. I feel like this is an easy win for us. I want to think that way as well, but I'm just making sure I've got all bases covered. Wolves do actually tend to cause us a little bit of trouble at their ground at the very least. They have been, I wouldn't say a bogey team, but just a bit of an annoying one. I'd say our bogey teams are Tottenham and Tottenham Palace. And to be fair, Wolves are probably third place in all that. Big up 700 students so far, but so look, I'm not really afraid of Wolves' team. They've got some alright players in there, like Sarr. He's not an awful keeper. The midfield's not too bad either. Bellegarde's not too bad either. It's not too bad kind of players. They're decent, but they're nothing too special. Our team on paper is a lot better. For anyone who missed it, this is the predicted 11. I think this is a much better team. I'm fine with Bernardo playing in this pivot as well. I'm absolutely fine with Bernardo in the pivot as long as he isn't surrounded by other unks, and he isn't. He's got Raiders with him. Who's the Gundo regen, of course. He's got Shirky ahead of him, Doku on his left, on his right, Marmoush on his left, and he's got Haaland he can thread it to as well. It's a very attacking team, is what I will say. Marmoush is going to run at his man, maybe cut in. Doku's going to run at his man, probably whip one in. You know what? No, I actually don't want Doku. I want Bob. I think Bob would actually be class. Him and Shirky were working so well together. I just think it could work. Marmoush on the right doesn't work, so I don't fancy that. And Bob is a bit of a creator as well. He has got an eye to assist. He got the assist in the Community Shield last season for Bernardo, if you remember that. But yeah, what I will say is that it's very attacking. Nuri, very attacking-minded player. Not saying he can't defend, but you know how it is. So, Nunes, he likes to get forward, and of course he can be a bit of a liability defensively at times. Reinders, he's a bit all round, but he's definitely a little more attacking than he is defensive. Marmoush, obviously, I've just explained. Shirky, these guys don't need to explain. They're obviously not defensive. Okay, they're going to be all about the attack. So it really leaves, in terms of purely defensive-minded players, it really leaves you Ruben and Akanji. These guys are going to press up with the team, of course. Everyone here is going to be chilling all the way up here. We're going to be sat in Wolves' half for most of the game. It's very much going to look so silly like that. It will look like something just silly. But again, these guys are our only defensive options, and they're not the quickest, so on the counter we can get done. Again, these guys aren't exactly Kyle Walker kind of pace. So that pace Kyle Walker's left behind is something to look out for. Absolutely. I'll drop these guys all the way back now, like so. It's not exactly where they all were, but it'll do. I'll pick it. Let's just go like that. I'll never be happy otherwise. There you are. Got a salmon out of it. Yeah, but that's my predicted 11 again, though. Feel free to switch it up, okay? It's our predicted 11. If you fancy any switches and swaps, feel free to let me know, because at the end of the day, this is something that we're doing together here. Let's get this saying Wolves vs Man City. Predicted 11. Yeah, I feel like that's solid. I feel like that's not too bad. I'm just looking to see if there's any more news covering Savinio or Eddie, because I don't mind talking about those two because they've been left out. Although what I will say is what do we all think to Rico? You know, should Man City sell him? Okay, obviously Academy boy, there's a bit of attachment where that's concerned. You know, should Man City sell Rico Lewis? 30 million is what we are valuing him at, over 30 million. Okay, which I think is probably closer to. It depends. We rated Cole Palmer at 40. Okay, and we got 40. It depends how high we rate Rico. Do we not rate Rico more than Cole Palmer, the guy that actually has played a bunch of games for us, Rico? Or do we just think Rico is an alright player? It's an interesting one, and I think we need a buyback in there too. Rodri is so coming back, but what is important is his knees perfect. He needs good minutes and whatnot. Maxi has potential to be with Man City, yes or yes, but sometimes he wants more minutes, and it's fair enough. We cannot give. He wants another space. I would love Maka with me, but it's the same. We have too many players, and he wants more minutes, and he believes if he gets enough minutes, he will have it. I understand. Edison, oh yeah, we already mentioned that. Yeah, spoke about that. Here we go. I don't know if Tottenham or any other club wants to play. You should call the club, right? It's the same like we do. The only thing I'm concerned about today is that Savinio will be with Zaya, because at 21, the potential he has is playing a lot of minutes. He has to improve in final decisions. He's an extraordinary player, but at the end, he's always the player that desire of the player prevails above everything. And I don't know at the end, with the 3 weeks to go in the market, and the Saudi market is a bit longer. And yeah, there's nothing really more to add. Did predicted 11. Probably wonder about Blinken's score prediction. Score prediction, I will go. I'm going to go for a 3-1. I'm thinking 3-1. I think this is going to be a good game for us. I think we're going to be very excited by it. Okay, but I also think there's still going to be room to improve. Okay, which I think 3-1 personifies that personally. Now, I apologize for the funny camera angle. It's not normally like this. I'll make sure that is hopefully sorted for the next stream. But speaking of next streams, in an hour and 20 minutes on One Blue Friday show, I'm back on it this week, which is good. So feel free to tune in over there. Much appreciated. Big ups to everyone tuning into the stream. Also big ups for the other night, the PSG game. Needless to say, it was amazing, and yeah, hopefully more streams like that in the future. Big ups to we'll be back on here tomorrow for watch along, but for now, I'll be back in an hour and 20 on Blue Friday show. I'll see you all there, Blues.